We made it to Act 10 and we're almost at the end of the tutorial. Soon we'll be at endgame. But first we gotta get there, and here's how. You're watching the Poe 101 series and we are leveling a duelist as an example, all the way to endgame using Blade Storm. Okay, we come off the town into this roof and then into the cathedral, and then we just kill these people. A boss will spawn here. We want to get rid of him quickly. And once he goes down, we can go and talk to Bannon. And then out we go. We're now going to run all the way down the roof to the far edge. We see blues or large pack. Ooh, alchemy. Just drop a Blade Storm. I'm mostly going to be in Bloodstance. And that's because in Act 10 things get a lot more difficult than they were in previous acts. Monsters do a lot more damage and we want to kill them quickly. It's down. Life Flask. We've already got a Divine Life Flask. I didn't need that, but not going to be a problem getting it anyway. And then on we go. Now if you're running down here and get stuck, you might have to go off an offshoot and come back in. I think we're going to be okay. Was there blues back there? Yeah, that was. Let's kill those. Getting a level before we run lab would be nice. We are going to run lab before we finish this act. And that will be our third Ascendancy. And at that point we'll get a chance to block even if we don't have a shield. However, switching to a shield towards the end of this act may not be the most terrible idea. But I don't want to lose damage if I don't have a decent replacement weapon. So in here what I like to do is run all the way across towards the bottom and go into the reliquary. We're not going to run the reliquary, but it's a nice staging point for the rest of the act. It's going to go in, grab the waypoint, back out. I'm going to run down here and turn around this corner. And there we go. Into the control blocks now, and we are going to grab this waypoint. And just continue through. Now, there is quite a lot of density in here, so I do suggest actually killing quite a bit of it, not just blues. You do not want to die because there's too many enemies. However, that place, which is normally packed, was empty. Another alchemy. I think it's across the way here. Put those up. And if memory serves, it should be towards the bottom here. And maybe I was completely wrong. Nope. There we go. Okay. We've been here before. This is where we get the miasm meter. And we're going to go into this newly opened door. But first, skill point. We are going to go for another endurance charge. Now, this is probably going to match towards our entry. We will be running some of it off. But if you want to start pathing into this stuff now, you can. We will be matching the rest of the tree from the previous videos, Act 7 and beyond, before we switch to this league. Note as well that the mana nodes that were here are now here. So we do have to path down here, whereas previously I would have skipped this out and come down through here. But because this has changed, it's more efficient to come this way. Now, be careful of those beams. They hurt and he casts a lot of them. So we're just going to put a lot of them around. That hurts as well. Now, once he gets to a certain level of health, he's going to fly into the air and fly around the arena. All we need to do is dodge him as he bombs us. I think there's 3 bombing runs, if memory serves. So in the meantime, we just kill these guys to get our health back and our life flasks back. He's landed. Where's he gone? There he is. Try and get some damage in while he's doing that, because he doesn't do any other attacks while he's doing that. And he's doing his slam thing again. He'll go into the air again in a sec. There we go. Maybe it's 2 bombing runs. Now keep an eye out for... There you go, it's just landed. Just absolutely spamming with these, and he'll die. Okay, log. We talk to Lani now, and she'll give us a flask and a skill book. We are going to go for an evasion flask if she's got one. She doesn't. Actually, let's go for a basalt. And I don't need the mana flask anymore because we have this mark. Not sure if we'll keep that, but we might. Okay, and a skill book. Another skill point. I do want in this area is reduced extra damage from critical strikes. And then back to the reliquary. And as I mentioned, this is just a staging point. We're not going to run it. The quest in there isn't something we need. It's not a skill book, so we'll ignore it. We will be running the other optional area towards the end. I don't actually run that beyond League Start because it's only to get your last Ascendancy point, so we can actually run Lab. These are down. Now, if you do come across a particularly hard enemy, do remember to use this thing, Corrupting Fever. Adding 10 Corrupted Blood to them really does help kill them. And also, leap slamming around can be quite useful. If you leap slam onto the head of someone who's at full health, they'll be stunned. Now we're going to run across the top, back to where we originally fought Innocence. So you can see that those little circles are on people's heads. So if you find another one, these people, there you see, those little circles mean stunned. And a stun lasts more the more damage we did to actually cause the stun. Blues are down. We'll grab that for chromatic, and then in we go. Waypoint's been destroyed in here, so the only waypoint is in the next area. We're just going to shoot through here. Another thing to note, in Act 5, when we get to the end and kill Innocence, we need to come back through these courts to actually continue the instance and continue the level. That's not the case in Act 10. As soon as we kill the end of area boss, which is in the same Innocence area, we can just log out. Just be careful of those lightning guys. He's down. Ooh, new axe. No, it's a one-handed. And it's no good for bleed. What was that? Silver coin. Now, I have been running pretty much all weekend League Mechanic, and I have made a ridiculous amount of cash. In pretty much one day, I made 12 divines. And that was after I spent a divine buying silver coins. Now, I did get lucky. I dropped one of the, what's it called, tattoos that actually give you an extra projectile. And my other character is a tornado shot character. It's actually doing really well against the lead mechanic, but also just in general, it clears so fast.
I can't do this just yet.
Where are we? There we go. Just to note as well, when you first enter an area, you'll see this up here. This is the grace period. We can't take any damage during this point. So when you first go into an area, you're completely safe. Grab the waypoint. Now this is the same as before. We head all the way to the left and then downwards. Once we get to the very bottom, we head right. I do love that pop sound. They are doing a lot of damage. Grab that amulet, grab the currency. Nothing else jumped out there. It's pickable up. I'm not going to kill that rare. What about boots? They're not terrible. They could be better though. Are they? No, they're the wrong. We really want armor boots. Makes the colours easier to roll later. And we want armor, of course. Okay, marker. I'm not going to pick up the 3 linked red, green, blue because it's on a staff and that's a lot of space it takes up. However, war axe, we can do that. And that war axe might be craftable. Down. Spirit shield, not the right kind of shield for us. We want a high armor shield, and spirit shield doesn't do that. And I accidentally switched to sand stance, but sand stance is actually doing a lot of damage as well. Actually, I might try that a bit more. Yeah, it's definitely not as fast as blood stance against blues. Are we close to the top now? We are. So it's probably straight back down the arena to the end. And then shoot down here. Something we forgot to do is actually get the crafting recipe in here. So I might shoot across and just do that. We would normally get it up on the way up, so let's just shoot back through here. There it is. That's just actually pretty close. And then back. We leveled, so before we go in, let's put on our skill point, and we're going to go for damage again. So that's attack speed, damage, and damage with ailments. And in we go. Now, this guy is quite high damage, but he's also absolutely ridiculous amounts of HP. So keep everything on him all the time, in the hope we can kill him quickly. If we don't, it gets painful. Okay, these beams from the ceiling are physical damage over time. They're like bleed. You can't take the bleed off. And if they hit you, you're probably going to die pretty sharpish. And he's down. Okay. We need to pick up the Staff of Purity until it fits. And then log. Talk to this guy, you'll turn into Innocence. Talk to Lani, and she will give us a 4-link chest piece. Now that is way more armor than that, so we're going to try and go for this. We will need to re-roll the colours, but what have we got? That is huge. 101 to maximum life. And 5% physical damage reduction. This is probably best case scenario chest. See if we can get 5 reds on it. There we go. First time. We are now a ton more defensive, and we have a spare suffix for a resist roll. Just want to check out the amulet. Dexterity and intelligence, which is the rolls we will need. It's not great for everything else, although it's better than what we got, so let's switch. Resistance check. Lightning is in the toilet. We need to fix that, so let's go back to the hideout. While we're back to the hideout, you'll see I've invited Lady Roth here. And she will show up every time I come back to the hideout, as soon as we get to Act 6. Now, if we talk to her, we can trade in divination cards, and you can see we have a full stack. It's turned blue. That gives us 10 alterations. What we can also do is if we go to our stash tab, I've got affinity set for my card rollout. And if we go to cards, we might have others. No, we don't. Full stack's nothing. Crafting bench. We are going to go for a lightning roll on here. And lightning is up. We're also going to lose 30% resistances after this. So for mapping, we do want to make sure we got some more. I can't roll any more on that, but I can put a life roll on it, maybe. Or a fizz roll. Let's go for a life roll. And then for now, that will have to do. Now, the flask is magic. It could be better than what we got. Immunity to bleeding, we are going to switch, however. And it's more life, yeah. Definite switch. We can also start to see if we can craft this axe into something useful. The way we're going to do this, because it's already blue, I can use these to re-roll the rolls on it. And what I ultimately want is fizz. 82% fizz, 10% critical strike. 64 to 118. That's probably not terrible. Let's leave it for now. I'm going to put it in my stash. We need a Regal Orb to make it rare, of course, before we move on. Okay, we are going now back to the Ravaged Square. And in here we're going to the Ossuary.
I can't do this just yet. My spirit is spent.
That is the wrong thing on that button. Yeah, do be careful to check once you move stuff around, because it can get messy and knock all your skills off. Now in here we are looking for a trial of Ascendancy only. Nothing else really in here we care about. Although in this league something did change. Get rid of those. I saw detonate nearby corpses. That will almost always kill you. Outside area, this skill doesn't. This build won't use. Actually, it will use a Ancestral War Chief, so you can try and farm one. But they're probably dead cheap to buy on the market. 3 chromatics. Another 3 chromatics. Oh no, it's the same ones. Another chromatic. No, cartographer's chisel. That is for crafting map quality. So we'll get to that in a little while. Probably next video, actually. We'll grab the elixir of the lure, because we're here, and then crafting recipe. And I think I see the trial of Ascendancy. I do. Okay, we are going to run down here, try and avoid the poison spikes, which slow us. And hit that switch, and then back the same way. Well, we got out without being hit, I think. And then same here. And then we go down this middle bit. Touch the plaque. And we got a portal. Did I not pick up the thing here for lure? There we go. Did now. Okay, we can now, hopefully, I think I got everything, run the final labyrinth. So I will meet you back here once I'm done. Okay, just before we go into the final trial, I want to talk a little bit about these, because I haven't really yet, and it's likely I'm going to use these into endgame. So mark on here, basically, whichever mark it's linked to will auto-cast on rare enemies, such as bosses. Now, Poacher's Mark itself curses a single enemy, lowering their physical damage reduction and adding physical damage to all hits, so we gain 17 to 26 physical damage. They have minus 20 to physical damage reduction, but the big thing is, we get 39 life and 90 mana whenever we hit with an attack, which is all the time, even as our blades spin and we're not near them. So it's actually a really good combo for this build and its survivability. Ow, just got poisoned. Now, one thing to note, since I took the life flask off, it feels a little rough until he's cursed. Once he's cursed, you see the little thing floating above his head, and our mana becomes infinite once he's cursed, because we're generating so much more than we could ever use. Same with this one here. You see our mana is always full throughout the fight. Into the final chamber now. Let's loot the chests. Put something on our... We'll update Thunder to Inferno, because as you go up, these actually get more powerful. So the third lab, even if it's the same buff, will be stronger if it comes from the third lab. And then we ascend. And we are now going to go for block. This will give us 10% chance to block attack damage, even without a shield. So it's actually pretty decent. And this too. So we get 12% chance to block without even holding a shield. Now, when we do block attacks, we can't be stunned, and our counter-attacks deal double damage. And if we use the same endgame shield I normally use with the Gladiator, then it has a counter-attack built in. Okay, we're back in town now. I'm going to grab that refund book. talk to Sin,
Time for that.
and then we're going to port all the way back to the Ossuary. And then we're going to talk to Innocence and run through Kitava's horns.
I can't do this just yet.
Okay, now if we don't hit a pack with rares, one thing I noticed without the mana flask is that we are really struggling for mana. So do be gentle with your hits, don't just spam it when you're going into packs without rares. As soon as you got a rare, you can go crazy.
I do love the stink of victory.
We just leveled, so when we get to the bottom, we will be putting on a skill point before fighting Kitava again. I wouldn't normally open these while leveling, but they can be a decent source on your first run to get weapons and stuff. Didn't even have enough mana then to cast my stick. And the idea around here is just to zigzag around until you find these downwards bridges. So that one we just passed, and then there'll be another one soon where there'll be like a gate into the next area. What was that? Alterations 5. That's pretty good. Okay, we got a rare, so we can now spam everything around it. So it's quite useful now just to have rares around to hit as we're hitting stuff. Even if we're not going to kill them. Now what we will be using to sustain mana late game, that nearly hurt, was... ooh, Peace of Chaos. What was I saying? Got distracted by shinies. I can't remember. Oh, that was it. Mana. What we'll be using to sustain mana late game is... I've forgotten. Oh, a gem. Jewel, even. And that jewel gives us mana leech. I don't know why that took so long to work out. It's all in there, just doesn't know how to get it out of the brain. Okay, eventually... into the feeding trough now. This is the final area of Act 10.
I can't do this just yet.
But we're just going to zoom down here, because I'm not in a particular... I don't want to be slow. When we get to the bottom, there will be a crafting recipe on something looking rather phallic, and then talk to Sin. Up we go.
I shall strike you down.
Oh, I didn't put on a skill point. Haven't got time now. We're going to probably do that, actually, while he comes out of the ground next time. So just drop these at his feet. He is cursed with Poacher's Mark. Or marked with Poacher's Mark, so we're getting life and thingy back. Now do note we can't leech from him or get anything while he's phased. But there are rares here at least, so we can... There we go, he's coming back. Can I quickly dump on some damage? Now, it's a good indicator whether he's phased or not, is your totem, because it won't attack him while he's in phase. However, the moment he comes out, it will, so you can hear it tapping away at him. Get out of the toxic floor. And those... Stay away from the fire. There's quite a lot that goes on in the Kitava fight. So don't worry too much if you die. I don't normally die to him much anymore, but it still does happen on occasion. And again, just destroy the heart. And I completely forgot to put on Corrupting Fever, which would have boosted our damage quite a bit against him. So, our thing isn't tapping yet, so... There you go. He has come out of phase. Get out of there. And back in. Okay. A lot going on in the middle of the arena, so we're going to stay out of there if we can. Go back in just to... I sometimes die to those more often than not, actually. Because they can be difficult to dodge. Okay. His heart is coming out. Destroy this, and I think this is endgame. Just get these in as well, and we drop to unique. It's a rubbish unique, but it's a unique. Boom. Touch Sin, and he will open a portal. What we're going to do is talk to Lani, and she will give us our first ever 2-point skill book. Well, our first and last for this character. So now we can put 2 skill points on, and I'm going to finish off this slaughter for the 25% increased bleed damage and the attack speed, plus 5 to maximum rage as well. So our rage now goes up to 55. Then what we're going to do is talk to Lilywroth and sail to Oriath. And that is it. We have reached endgame. In the next video, I will be showing you what to do in your first couple of maps. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, then please tickle that like button. It'll like it a lot. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.